Hi friends, I'm Phoebe. Welcome to my music discovery journey where I catch up on all the music I've missed out on over the years and I share it here with you on this channel. At least my good finds. There is so much music out there. I've consumed a lot over the years. I'm 39, going to be 40 this year. Scary. But there's lots that I'm still yet to discover. Some that are decades old. Five Finger Death Punch are a band that I've heard of. I think I heard some of their stuff back in like 2008 or 9. They've been around for a long time. They've been around since 2005, actually. That's when they formed. So they've been around for a good 20, 21 years almost. I haven't heard Wrong Side of Heaven. That was released in 2013. It was actually released on my birthday in 2013. That's cool. So this is quite poetic, maybe, that we are listening to this right now, or about to. So, it's 7 minutes 12. This was recommended a ton by people on my Sabaton video. I think it was the Sabaton video Christmas Truce, but I might be wrong. We're going to listen to it and see whether we'll listen to it a couple of times. I'm going to break it down. There will be starting and stopping. Sometimes I listen to it all the way through once and make comments throughout, but don't talk over too much. And then a second time I usually start and stop a lot. But we'll see how we go. I think it probably deserves that kind of breakdown. So strap in. The ones that you love the most are the ones willing to fight for you. Jesus.
I spoke to God today, and she said that she's ashamed. What have I become? What have I done? I spoke to the devil today, and he swears he's not to blame. And I understood, 'cause I feel the same. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly care. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell.
It's a lot darker and deeper than I thought it might be. We'll carry on watching and we will start and stop properly the second time through, but just need a second.
I heard from God today, and she sounded just like me. What have I done? And who have I become? I saw the devil today,
once more. It's no surprise that there are people that have gone to war, or people that have joined even emergency services and have a lot of PTSD from the situations they are put in for work. The fact that there are so many that have not been helped, and there are high suicide rates from people that have experienced a lot of trauma and PTSD, is awful. I actually think this might have come off the back of Hero of War recommendation that I had from Rise Against. I don't like war. I don't like that. Usually, it's all about people at the top. People at the top fighting over land, territory, resources, money, greed, power. And they send a bunch of people to fight for them. And people die because of their greed. And it's awful. And in that, it's showing how awful it can be and things that it can lead to in terms of homelessness, in terms of divorce. PTSD affects people so much, and it's something that is really difficult to deal with without any form of therapy. Even with therapy, it's not just gone away like that. So we're gonna watch it and break it down, the lyrics, and we will try not to cry. Right. The ones that you love the most are the ones willing to fight for you. It says, I swore to defend you, I volunteered, I risked my life so you don't have to. These guys are soldiers, it looks like, and sharing their stories. And we sit here being protected in our homes, but the real people to blame are the ones causing all the wars, the ones fighting like children and causing such destruction to cities, countries, groups of people. Why do people fight over stupid things and lose lives? So many lives have been lost in war alone, and then people who have fought in those wars still struggle the lasting consequences. That doesn't feel very heroic for them. I know that much. I know that's what they say. And sometimes it's glorified joining a service that, you know, you're protecting people, you're doing it for the greater good, you may have to kill a few people in the way, but you know, you'll be seen as a hero. The reality of it is far more difficult to comprehend. And I say that as someone that's never been to war. What do I know? But from what I have heard from different sources, it's not all it's cracked up to be for a lot of people. I had certain views about people going to war for a while, and there were times where I was like, oh, how can someone want to go and fight the opposition? But actually, over the years, that hasn't been the case. People don't always want to go. Some countries have forced people to go. Some people, they didn't have a choice. Some people would be humiliated or punished if they didn't go. It's not always like that, and certainly a choice for many. And there are many reasons why people go. And I can't judge. But I just think it's sad that there is so much of that, so much fighting with people at the top. And the people at the top, they don't get involved. World leaders, you don't see them going out to fight. And that feels almost cowardly, doesn't it? Sending a bunch of people to fight for you, but you don't want to do the dirty work. You don't want to be left with the trauma, the hurt, seeing your friends get killed, seeing innocent civilians getting killed, maybe even being encouraged to do something like that, something awful that doesn't feel moral. Some of the information is hard. It's a really nice intro with the music. In terms of audio, it's very sad. It's very sad. Those notes are not happy ones. And the information that's on the screen talking about veterans that have served years, put their lives on the line. And what do they get in return? Sometimes not a lot. That's quite hard. That's quite sad.
She's ashamed. What have I become? What have I done? I spoke to the devil today, and he swears he's not to blame. And I understood, 'cause I feel the same.
I spoke to God today, and she said that she's ashamed. We normally think of God as a he, but this is suggesting God is a she. I don't mind. There's a reason behind that, but I'm not sure what that is right now. What have I become? What have I done? It's this questioning of why did this happen, or how did this happen? Someone that has risked their life to, in their mind, do something good, and they get this. they get a lifetime perhaps of PTSD, certainly if untreated. Flashbacks, night terrors, panic attacks. That needs serious help. That can destroy someone mentally, which is why it can take someone's life. Why someone decides to take their own life in the end. That's not right. Sorry, my mouse keeps catching the screen. I spoke to the devil today, so contrast to God. He swears he's not to blame. And I understood, because I feel the same. God is ashamed because I guess it's a sin to kill. So she's ashamed. She's ashamed that I've ended up here, he's saying. Spoke to the devil, he swears he's not to blame. It's not the devil's fault. The devil's not taking blame. But it says, I understood because I feel the same. It's not the devil that has done this. It's the powers that be, isn't it? Society has failed them. The leaders at the top who only care about resources, power, money, they're the ones that are to blame. They're always the ones to blame when it comes to war. Terrorist groups wouldn't form without a reason. And I guess it's the realization that they've been let down.
Understood, 'cause I feel the same. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly care. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell.
The nice calm. Well, it's not calm, it's probably just more of a somber calmness. Reflecting. Arms wide open, I stand alone. That's quite powerful, isn't it? I've got my arms out. I'm giving everything. I'm not getting anything back. No help. No treatment, no care, complete disregard for these pawns that people are using to fight for them, dehumanizing them, desensitizing them to violence. I'm no hero. People say that war veterans are heroes. They've saved worse things from happening, perhaps, to a large group of people. That doesn't make them feel like a hero. They don't feel like a hero when they've got nothing to show for it other than pain, scars, and trauma. Says, I'm no hero and I'm not made of stone. They're humans. They've got feelings, they've got emotions. they're not made of stone. They're not completely desensitized to this, and that's why they're experiencing this utter desperation, panic, anxiety, and all of that, because it's what they've experienced hasn't been a happy one. I'm sure a lot of people aren't proud to have done what they've done. Some people are very young and impressionable. We mature as we get older, and we make choices along the way that we're not proud of years down the line. There are so many reasons why we do things that we do, but none of us are made of stone. None of us are able to block out everything and just, disassociate from it. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. Perhaps it's warped, lost all understanding of what is right or wrong at this point because of everything they've been through. It's horrific. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. That's quite powerful. Wrong side of heaven suggests they've not been good. They've been locked out of heaven because of what they've done. The righteous side of hell, saying it's not good. Perhaps it's for the greater good, but it's not good. Morally, it feels like that, at least.
Just like me, what have I done, and who have I become? I saw the devil today, and he looked a lot like me. I looked away, I turned away, arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I'm on the...
This one. An estimated 460,000 veterans suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. I bet that number isn't even close to the amount who actually suffer. And is that a year? Is that just in America? Because they said something about our country. Five-Finger Death Punch were from America, but people all around the world fight for their countries. I feel like the number is far higher overall. What do I know? I don't have the facts, but I think if I went digging, I'd probably find that it's more at this point. A lot of in terms of reporting, a lot of things aren't reported. A lot of things don't get reported or get lost. A lot of people might have committed suicide before reporting on that stage of this. Perhaps it's clear why they've attempted suicide, but it might not always be. But yeah, it just feels like that's 460,000 people, that's a huge number. And PTSD, like I say, it doesn't just go away. There are so many different ways we deal with things, and it says that a lot of people become homeless And that could be from the destructive behaviours that PTSD creates in us. Self-loathing, which can also cause the divorce, which is why we saw the guy there holding a picture of his child, and possibly that was her walking past. The mum pulled her away. Losing families. And it's all a result of what they've done. But yeah, PTSD can cause so many different reactions and coping mechanisms. Drink themselves silly to forget, drugs, turning to anything to help forget or numb the pain, forget losing people, even talking about the Christmas truce and then making friends and then having to fight each other after. And a lot of people got moved because they were useless to the people at the top. But also, if you didn't do something or you were fraternizing with the enemy, you would get punished, wouldn't you? So it's just heartbreaking, these situations. I'll go through the second verse as well, because we went through that and then we entered the chorus. I heard from God today and she sounded just like me. Does that mean like morally? She knew what I was going through. She could relate. She was good. There was still good in her, as there is me. What have I done and who have I become? Questioning again. Then again, it talks about the devil, contrast from God. I saw the devil today, and he looked a lot like me. I looked away, I turned away. So he's saying these two contrasting things are in him, this good and this evil. And he can't even look at himself because he's ashamed, because he can't bear it. Yeah, that's really low. And that could also be why people just don't want to be here anymore, or don't cope very well because they see the same.
And I'm not made of stone, right or wrong. I can hardly tell. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell. The wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell.
Homeless vets spend an average of 6 years on the streets. It says a helpless veteran is roaming the streets. Sometimes I know I've walked on the streets of LA, New York. There are a lot of homeless people there. There are a lot of people that people see as crazy people shouting, people trying to get attention from passers-by, people that appear very drunk, very inebriated, drink or drugs. And it's quite sad, actually. But for most people, they see it as scary. They're like, oh, I don't want to look at them. I don't want to catch their attention. I don't want them to catch me. So most people don't look, and most people turn away, and most people leave them alone or avoid them. And if you think about that they're broken, they're hurt, they probably didn't choose to end up like that, but they have as a consequence from something very bad. And that could be a bad choice or a bad hand at life. Both. We are all the way we are, usually due to consequence and influences of things along the way in life. It's just quite quite sad. Oh.
I'm not defending, downward descending, falling further and further away, getting closer every
day. The veteran doesn't understand why his sacrifice went unappreciated. Risking your life for what? Someone ending up on the streets. They gave up so much of themselves. They lost their family. They lost their home. That must be a horrible feeling and thoughts. And not feeling appreciated for something so huge. That's rough. That's really rough. I don't know if the tattoos, because they're like very similar with USA, that they were both once in the other guy's position, the guy that's not homeless. They were both fighting, or it says USA, they've got a tattoo. Basically, is that like an army vet tattoo? Is that skull representing the fact that they fought? I should do some research on that, but they realise they're not much different, but one of them's ended up on the streets, not in a good way, and that's quite powerful as well. There is a bridge. I'm not defending downward descending. He's not defending his actions. He is downward descending. He's going further into a spiral, a downward hole, falling further and further away, getting closer every day to the end. That feels like ending it all, not wanting to be here. He's feeling this close to giving up because he feels like he's lost everything. This sacrifice that should have been better than this, it should have ended up better than this. He should have got more help.
closer every day. Arms wide open, I stand alone. I'm no hero, and I'm not made of stone. Right or wrong, I can hardly tell. I'm on the wrong side of heaven and the righteous side of hell.
I think these guys knew each other from before. I feel like he's saying, look at me, it's me, calm down. The other guy that's on the streets, he's defensive, destructive, probably fighting, doesn't want him to touch him. He's in a bad place, naturally. Talks about a minute ago that they don't even have enough resources to help. That feels so wrong. If you employ all these people to do a job, why don't you have the resources to help every single one of them? That's an injustice there on its own. That's awful. It's actually quite disgusting. Yeah, they both fought together. Thought so. In the time you were watching this video, a veteran somewhere took his own life. Nearly 5,000 die by their own hands every year. That's 1 every 2 hours. Then there's a lot of organisations and contact details for anyone that has been affected or anyone that wants to help. Oh dear. It's very sad. I'll obviously link below. But that was definitely a very sad one. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I cry a lot, but we do also do some happy ones. I like meaningful, deep, meaningful songs. I hope that change can happen in this situation. It would be nice to have a world where we don't need people fighting at all. Innocent people dying, resolving things in a far more humane way. It is, anything's possible, right? Well, that's possible. As long as you don't need some sort of stupid magic or something, you know, but it would be a miracle if it happened. It would feel like a miracle if it happened, because humanity just feels so far gone with the way we deal with things. It upsets me that war, you would think, so, like, war in the past has taught humanity lessons. But then why are we repeating those mistakes with people, with groups these days? Why is there still war and destruction and fighting going on? Why is there the killing of innocent people? Why are there terrorist groups? It's just disgustingly awful that people can't find a better way to settle differences, or just not be greedy. This world, we were put on this earth. We didn't own it. Yet we act like we do. Well, I don't. Just want to respect it, but society, humanity can be a beautiful thing. It can also be a terribly awful, awful thing, depending on who you are. And I think that's all I've got to say about that. Thank you if you got this far. Thank you to Patreon supporters. You get a shout out at the end of my videos, so thank you so much for being there. You can also join for free. That doesn't get you a shout out here, but you can check out all the videos that got blocked on YouTube and extra content, some album reviews that I'm going to be doing. And I'll see you for the next one. Thank you, Paul, for joining us. She hears. Everyone say hi to Paul. Paul the girl cat. Take care. See you soon. Bye bye.